Part 18.14, Surah Al-Kahf, the Cave. Assalamu alaikum. Welcome back to Sufi Essence with Hammad Syed. We continue our profound journey through the majestic Surah Al-Kahf, a chapter that masterfully intertwines profound narratives with universal truths. We have just witnessed the first test of patience in the journey of Prophet Moses and Al-Khidr, the inexplicable act of making a hole in a ship. The verses we will explore today continue this spiritual odyssey, presenting the second of three major tests that will further challenge Moses' understanding of justice, patience, and divine wisdom. This part of the surah is a beautiful and powerful lesson on the limits of human knowledge, the necessity of humility, and the profound reality that true wisdom is often hidden from the apparent reality. It is a moment for deep reflection, urging us to understand that Allah's wisdom extends far beyond our limited perception, and that a truly humble seeker is one who trusts in a plan they do not yet comprehend. Hadith, the Prophet, peace be upon him, taught, as narrated by Abu Hurairah. The Prophet, peace be upon him, said, "There is a polish for everything that polishes the hearts, and the polish of the heart is the remembrance of Allah." This is a well-known quote attributed to the Prophet, and a variation is found in Hadith literature, emphasizing the role of remembrance in purifying the heart. This profound hadith perfectly encapsulates the immense value of the journey Moses undertakes, as it is a journey in the path of Allah, one that is rooted in humility and a profound desire to draw closer to the source of all knowledge, Allah Ar-Rahman and Ar-Rahim. Kanzel Imen Quran, Al-Kahf the Cave, 18-71-75. So they went on until they met a young man, and he killed him. Moses said, "Have you killed an innocent soul who did not kill anyone?" "You have certainly done a monstrous thing," he said. "Did I not say that you would not be able to have patience with me?" Moses said, "If I ask you about anything after this, then do not keep me as your companion. You have a reason from me." So they went on until they came to the people of a town, and they asked its people for food, but they refused to give them hospitality. So they found in it a wall that was about to collapse, and he straightened it. Moses said, "If you had willed, you could have taken a wage for it." The spiritual journey of Moses and Al-Khidr continues. And the second test is even more shocking and challenging than the first. So they went on until they met a young man, and he killed him. This is a deliberate and shocking act that violates the most sacred principle of divine law, the sanctity of life. Al-Khidr's action is not a simple mistake. It is a cold, calculated act of killing an innocent person. From an outward conventional perspective, this is a grave crime, an act of profound evil that defies all reason and justice. This is the second test, an action that seems to be completely contrary to what is right, a moral transgression that is far more severe than the first. Moses, who is a prophet of the divine law, a man of profound justice, and a leader of his people, cannot remain silent. His reaction is not just a protest, it is a cry of righteous indignation. Moses said, "Have you killed an innocent soul who did not kill anyone? You have certainly done a monstrous thing." Moses' protest is rooted in his profound sense of justice and his prophetic duty to protect the innocent. He sees the young man as an innocent soul who has not committed any crime worthy of death. The Arabic word for monstrous, nukran, implies an act that is utterly shocking and deplorable, something that is unrecognizable as an act of a righteous person. His conscience, guided by the divine law, will not allow him to remain silent in the face of what appears to be an act of profound evil. This is a powerful reminder that we, as humans, are programmed to judge what we see, and often, what we see is only a fraction of the full picture. Al-Khidr's response, once again, is short and sharp. He said, "Did I not say that you would not be able to have patience with me?" This is not a personal rebuke, but a simple reminder of the condition of their journey. Al-Khidr knows that Moses' reaction is a natural one, but he is pointing out that his lack of patience is a direct result of his limited knowledge. He is reminding Moses that his journey requires him to suspend his own judgment and to trust in a wisdom that he does not possess. This is a powerful lesson in spiritual discipline. The path to higher knowledge is not a path of intellectual understanding alone. It is a path of the heart, a path that requires immense trust and spiritual discipline. The conflict here is between the zahir, the outer apparent reality, and the batin, the inner, hidden reality. Moses is judging based on the Zahir, while Al-Khidr's actions are based on a knowledge of the Batin. Moses, having failed the first two tests of patience, now makes a final, definitive promise. Moses said, "If I ask you about anything after this, then do not keep me as your companion. You have a reason from me." Moses recognizes his inability to remain silent in the face of apparent injustice and makes a final pledge of patience. He sets a clear boundary for his own behavior, knowing that his inability to remain silent is a barrier to his learning. This is a beautiful expression of a truly humble and seeking soul. He does not try to justify his actions or argue with his teacher. He simply admits his fault and renews his commitment to the path, but with a new condition. He acknowledges that he has been given a free pass twice, but a third time would be a sign of his complete failure and a clear reason for Al-Khidr to end their journey. This is a profound lesson in the art of being a student, to be humble enough to admit one's mistakes and to be resilient enough to continue the journey, even after a setback. The Sufi, in his quest for spiritual enlightenment, knows that the path is full of trials, and the only way to succeed is through humility, patience, and unwavering faith in Allah, Ar-Rahman, and Ar-Rahim. The narrative continues, and the third and final test is presented. So they went on until they came to the people of a town, and they asked its people for food, but they refused to give them hospitality. This is an act of profound injustice and a violation of the most basic principles of human decency and hospitality. The people of the town are described as being ungrateful and inhospitable, refusing to give food to two weary travelers. This is a moral transgression that is far more subtle than the first two, but it is a clear example of the moral decay of a society. The people's refusal to give food is an act of spiritual poverty, a state of being where a person is so consumed by their own needs that they cannot even extend a hand to a stranger. In the face of this injustice, Al-Khidr's action is even more perplexing than the first two. So they found in it a wall that was about to collapse, and he straightened it. Instead of punishing the inhospitable people, or simply leaving, Al-Khidr performs an act of kindness by fixing their wall. This action is a complete inversion of what Moses, or anyone for that matter, would expect. The people of the town deserved punishment, yet they received a blessing from a man they had rejected. This is the third test, an action that seems to be a complete act of mercy in the face of utter injustice. It is a moment that defies all conventional logic and judgment. Moses, having made his solemn promise, cannot remain silent, but his protest is now different. Moses said, "If you had willed, you could have taken a wage for it." Moses' question is no longer a righteous cry of indignation. It is a question of practicality and justice. Why would you perform such a great service for people who were so rude and inhospitable without receiving a wage? From an external worldly perspective, Al-Khidr's act is not just illogical, it is a financial loss. Moses is now questioning the wisdom of the act, not its morality. This is a sign of his growing patience and his commitment to his promise, but it is also a sign of his continuing inability to comprehend the hidden wisdom behind the actions of Al-Khidr. This part of the surah beautifully sets the stage for the revelation of the hidden wisdom behind the three actions, establishes the central tension of the story, the conflict between apparent injustice and hidden mercy. Between outer knowledge and inner wisdom, the trials of Moses are a testament to the fact that even the most righteous of people are in need of more knowledge, and that the path to a deeper understanding of Allah's plan is one of humility, patience, and complete trust. It is a story that has resonated with seekers for centuries, a timeless reminder that what we see with our eyes is not always the full story, and that the only true security and peace come from surrendering to the all-encompassing wisdom of the divine. It is a call to a deeper, more profound form of faith, one that is rooted in trust and surrender to the all-encompassing wisdom of Allah. The Sufi, in his quest for spiritual enlightenment, knows that his path is a constant struggle against the self and a continuous journey of learning. Knowing that true freedom lies in this submission, and that true spiritual growth comes from recognizing the signs of Allah in every aspect of creation and in every moment of his life. Let us now supplicate, drawing from the profound lessons of these verses, asking Allah to grant us a deeper understanding and to guide our every step. O Allah, O Ar-Rahman, O Ar-Rahim, you are the source of all knowledge, and your wisdom is beyond our comprehension. We seek refuge in you from the arrogance of ignorance and the blindness of our own perceptions. Grant us the humility to seek knowledge from its true source, and the patience to understand that we may not comprehend your plan. Open our hearts to your signs, no matter how small or hidden they may be, and grant us the integrity to admit our shortcomings. Make us of those who retrace their steps when they have lost their way, and lead us to a deeper understanding of the inner realities of all things. Grant us a heart that is completely reliant on you, and a soul that is forever content with your decree. May Allah illuminate your heart and mind with the light of this divine ilm. May He make your channel a beacon of guidance for all who seek spiritual clarity and truth. May your efforts be a source of immense reward, and may you be granted the highest stations of paradise. May the peace and blessings of Allah always be upon you and your loved ones. He grant you unwavering steadfastness on the path of truth, and may your work be a testament to His magnificent names, Ar-Rahman and Ar-Rahim.